It is 7 p.m. Tuesday, August 19th, 2025, and I will call the city council meeting to order. Clerk Everett, please call the roll.
Councilman Huckabee.
Here.
Councilman Lesko-Hare.
Here.
Councilman Schultz.
Here.
President Jekyll.
Here.
Councilman Johnson is excused absence.
Item 3, Pledge of Allegiance. I invite anyone who's willing and able to please stand. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
Which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item 4, consent agenda. The consent agenda is outlined below is hereby presented for action by the city council. Items may be removed from the consent agenda on any request of one council member. Items not removed may be adopted by one action without debate. Removed items may be taken up either immediately after the consent agenda or placed later on the agenda at the discretion of the council president.
I move to approve the consent agenda as listed, items 5A through 5J.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Items 4A and 4J, just to clarify.
All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 5, public hearings. Tonight we have none. Item 6, public comments for matters on the agenda. The city council will receive comments of city residents relating to matters on the agenda. Comments are generally limited to 3 minutes per individual. Anyone wishing to speak is required to sign up in advance or state the following items for record when called upon: name, address, and contact. No action will be taken on any public comments unless the item is also on the agenda. For those following on Zoom, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand as the chat box is not monitored during the meeting, and those on the call must remain muted unless recognized to speak. The person we have signed up tonight is John House.
Good evening, everyone. John House, 104 Jefferson Street, Fort Atkinson. I just have a question on, where is this? The installation purchase of the on-site generators for the waterworks, pumps and that. What have we been doing all these years? I read that and it said that if there's a failure that they got to load up generators and run them down by trailer. I mean, has that ever happened? I mean, I'm certainly not against this, but I was just wondering how long that's been going on. So I guess that's it for me. If somebody can answer me down the road, that'd be great.
Thank you. This will be a first call for anyone wishing to speak on matters on the agenda. Second call for anyone else wishing to speak. Third and final call. Okay, public comment is closed. Moving on to item 7, petitions, requests, and communications. Tonight we have none. Item 8, resolutions and ordinances. 8A is review and possible action relating to a resolution extending the life of tax increment district number 6 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs and projects within the city. Manager Hausman.
Thank you. So the city right now has 4 active tax increment districts, TIDs 6, 7, 9, and 10. The Joint Review Board meets annually to review reports for the prior year. That body did meet yesterday and did approve reports for actually all 5 because 2024 TID 8 was open. So the Joint Review Board reviewed and approved all of those reports. Those are all attached to this document for reference for the council and the public. Tonight, the matter before the council is extending the life of tax increment district number 6 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs and projects within the city. If you recall, the city council held a TID workshop on August 20th, 2024, where the city's financial advisors from Baird and staff presented a long-term plan for the city's TIDs, including the closure of 8 in April of 2025, which this council did complete in April, and the planned closure of TID 6 and 7 in 2026. So the statutes allow the city council to extend the life of a tax increment district after it has recovered all of its costs for 1 year to use that increment to fund affordable housing projects. And affordable housing is defined by state statute as housing that costs a household no more than 30% of a household's gross monthly income. In order to extend the life of the TID, the council must adopt a resolution declaring such, and then presumably in April of 2026, the city council would then take action to terminate TID 6 and 7 as they have now recovered all of their expenditures and debt service and are ready to close. So under the financial analysis section in the staff report in the packet, the TID 8 increment in 2025 that is currently in the Affordable Housing Fund is about $1.1 million. The expected increment in 2026 for TID 6 would be $160,000. And then TID 7, it's expected about $460,000 for an anticipated total dollar amount for affordable housing projects and programs to be about $1.7 million. We do not have those programs in place right now, so that money is just, or the $1.1 million is sitting in a fund, affordable housing fund, that's dedicated to that purpose and won't be spent without, without the city council approving projects and programs to that effect. The two resolutions on the agenda tonight, again, would extend the lives of those TIDs for 1 year to assist in funding this affordable housing fund. I did reach out to a consultant that works in the affordable housing space, and we'll get a scope and proposal for them to assist city staff with the development of these programs and policies and applications and all the things that would need to go along with an affordable housing program. So we don't have the policies and program in place right now, but it does, staff is recommending the approval of both of these both of these resolutions through 2 separate action items to put the increment from 2026 from TID 6 and 7 into this affordable housing fund for use when we have those programs in place. I'd be happy to answer any questions about the TIDs in general or about this affordable housing extension or anything else that's in the staff report.
Is there any timeline as to a requirement how soon these numbers have to be spent, or
No,
so they can sit in there for as long as we designate or need?
yes, and gather interest.
Okay.
I move to adopt a resolution extending the life of tax incremental district number 6 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs and projects within the city of Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 8B. Review and possible action relating to the resolution extending the life of tax increment district number 7 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs and projects within the city. Manager Hausman again.
I don't have anything additional to report. I did one staff report for both items, so you can see the TID 7 increment in 2026 is expected to be about $460,000. Again, staff recommends that the council adopt this resolution extending the life of TID number 7 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs.
I move to adopt the resolution extending the life of tax increment district number 7 for 1 year to fund affordable housing programs and projects within the city of Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item 9, reports of officers, boards, and committees. 9A is city manager's report.
Thank you. The 10th annual City Hall Selfie Day was Tuesday, August 12th. The theme this year was recreating old selfies or other older municipal pictures. I want to thank Mira Lee, who found some incredible pictures from the early 1900s. And I want to thank Sarah Ware for directing their recreation. If anyone didn't get a chance to see them last week, it's definitely worth a scroll through the city's Facebook page. There were a number of them, and they really made me smile. So thank you to everyone who participated. The city has now closed on the 3 single-family lots on Marigold in the Ridgeview Estates subdivision, as well as the remaining 5 lots in the Maple Grove subdivision. So all the property owners intend to begin construction this year. So we will see some new housing options pop up in 2026. I attended a Conversations with Thrive ED event in Exonia on August 13th. It was hosted by Exonia Bank, and the business representatives announced that they have invested in the Live Local Development Fund. This revolving loan fund run by Thrive ED is already showing results as it is one of the financing sources for the new Ridgeview Lofts apartment complex. The group also recognized Thrive ED President Deb Reinbold on being named Woman Executive of the Year by Biz Times Media. On August 14th, Clerk Ebert and Chief Bump swore in our 2 newest police officers, Jackson Fenner and Jonathan Teagle. Jackson and Jonathan are off to the police academy now. And when they return, the city's police department will be at full staff. We've struggled with that, so that's a really big deal to be at full staff for us. As I briefly mentioned, the Joint Review Board met yesterday and approved the 2024 annual reports for all of the city's tax increment districts. The reports are in the council packet if anybody wants to review them. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation held a public information meeting on August 18th at the library. They presented information about the concrete repair and asphalt project on Highway 26 on the bypass between Business 26 and Highway 12 that will take place in 2028. So the city's website does have more information about that project, and public comments are due to the DOT by September 19th, 2025. Grab your swimsuits for a final trip down the slide at the Aquatic Center tomorrow. The pool will be open from noon to 6, which is the last day of the 2025 season. While it would be incredible to keep the pool open for a couple more weeks to soak up the end of summer season, unfortunately, our seasonal staff is headed back to college and high school commitments. So I want to thank all of our seasonal staff and our full-time staff who made this a great season with over 30,000 total visitors again this year. On Thursday morning, the Chamber is hosting their annual new teacher breakfast for new teachers and administrators in the Fort Atkinson School District and various private schools in the city. I'm pleased to be a speaker at this event and welcome the new teachers to our community. The Fort Atkinson Area Community Survey, which is part of the Retail Market Study Project commissioned by the city, remains open through the end of this week. If you have not already taken the survey, please do so. It is long, but completion is important for data quality purposes. The results of this survey will help guide decisions relating to the city's affordable housing fund, economic development efforts, as well as what types of retails and services to pursue. More information and a link to take the survey are available on the city's website. And the water main and road work on the northeast side of the city continues to progress. Kramer Street is now complete. Utilities have been installed underground on Memorial Street, and curb and gutter will be constructed on McMillan next week, of course, weather permitting. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to item 10, unfinished business. Tonight we have none. Item 11, new business. 11A is review and possible action relating to the purchase and installation of on-site generators at the Sherman Avenue and Water Street lift stations. Wastewater Superintendent Sweeney.
Good evening. So the first item I have is the generators. The Sherman Avenue and Water Street lift stations were constructed in 1982. They are designed to pump wastewater from the downtown area to the gravity main sewer. Currently, during a power outage at the Sherman Avenue and Water Street lift stations, staff must manually transport pull-behind generators to the sites and connect them so that lift stations continue to function properly. This process involves traveling to the plant, hooking up the generator, towing it to the lift station, and getting it operational. If both lift stations are affected, staff must repeat the process with a second generator. This procedure is not only time-consuming, but also poses logistical and safety challenges, especially when only one staff member is available or when severe weather makes travel hazardous. To improve the efficiency and safety, staff proposes to permanently install 50 kW Generac generators with enclosures at each lift station. This solution would eliminate the need for manual transport and reduce response time during outages and enhance the overall reliability of operations. This project was included in the 2025 CIP budget at $150,000. The planned project included the additional generators outlined above and the replacement of 4 pumps. The City Council approved the replacement of the flight submersible pumps at the lift stations at the June 3rd meeting at $62,402, leaving $87,598 for the generators portion of this project. Staff received 2 proposals, one from Home Backup Systems of Fort Atkinson, and that came in at $74,059.20, and then Delta Electric of Whitewater at $98,945. After the pumps and generators, there will be approximately $11,657.20 remaining. The staff intends to use a portion of those funds to enhance the site around the Water Street lift station, including installing a privacy fence around the new generator, an electrical panel, and to improve the safety and appearance of the lift station itself. Additionally, some overgrown trees will be removed to accommodate the installation of the generators. To restore and improve the appearance of the area, new landscaping will be added following the tree removal. Staff recommends the council approve the purchase and installation of the 2 on-site Generac generators from Home Backup Systems of Fort Atkinson for a cost not to exceed $74,059.20 to provide permanent backup electricity for the Sherman Avenue and Water Street lift stations.
Can you tell us how many times in the last 2 to 3 years you've had to bring generators to the onsite?
I would say in general, it's probably 2 to 3 times a year. And for instance, like I think it was last year or the year before when we had the really bad storms, there were so many trees down around town. It was really difficult to see because there was no lights and there were trees down everywhere. So to pull the generators, get them there, it was a safety hazard. So it's just very difficult, and it's just peace of mind for everybody who has a home in the city that we can have those up and running right away and we're not flooding basements and having problems.
And what happens when the lift stations aren't working properly?
They fill up and then they start back flooding the sewer main. And then once they start backing up the sewer main, then that's when you have problems in your basements.
Thank you.
Roughly how long on average would you say from power going out would it become a major problem?
Depending on the river level and depending on how much rain, it all depends. I would say if we get to them and get them going within 2 to 3 hours, we're okay. But if that river is up, we got to be quick
Okay,
because we're already behind in the lift station already.
yep.
So on the generators, the standby generator or the backup generators, is there, I was reading through the different quotes. Is there a maintenance contract as well, or will the city do that?
With this particular, the home backup systems, they offered, I believe it was a 1-year maintenance contract on them.
Okay,
And then after that, we would do all the service ourselves, but we would probably have somebody come in either annually or biannually and do a check on them.
so are they going to add that to this quote? Because I didn't.
That would probably just come out of my regular budget.
Oh, no, I
yearly.
mean, for that year that's included.
It's free. They're
It
doing
is.
it.
I was just gonna say it's not on the quote. So I'm
I believe it
just,
did say on
Is
the
it?
home backup systems one, does say 1 year of maintenance in there. I thought it did. Mm, Yeah, and I know that to be true. If it wasn't on there, we did talk to the gentleman,
Okay.
but I thought it was in there.
Yeah, typically it's pretty standard. That's why I was curious
Yeah,
why it
Yeah,
wasn't.
it is, I thought it was in there.
So I guess I would, if that is the winning bid, I would just ask that they put it in writing.
Absolutely, will do.
And if there is a backup into an individual's home, that is on the homeowner's expense. Like that's not something typically that a municipality would cover.
Correct, to my knowledge.
I move to approve the purchase and installation of two on-site Generac generators from Home Backup Systems LLC of Fort Atkinson for a cost not to exceed $74,059.20 to provide permanent backup electricity for the Sherman Avenue and Water Street lift stations.
Second,
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Moving on to 11B, review and possible action related to solar project study engineering services. Wastewater Superintendent Sweeney again.
The wastewater plant is evaluating the feasibility of installing a solar field to offset a portion of its energy expenses. The city borrowed funds in 2024 to pursue such a solar project. Staff has procured the services of Donahue Engineering to conduct a comprehensive solar evaluation for the wastewater treatment plant. This assessment will include an analysis of the plant's electrical usage and the development of a solar production model. Donahue will also explore battery storage options and coordinate with We Energies to address the necessary interconnection requirements for both solar and battery systems. As a part of their scope, they will summarize the financial performance, prepare conceptual layouts, conduct budget analysis, and identify potential rebates and tax credits, and provide their top recommendations moving forward. Staff has negotiated a proposal from Donahue and Associates to complete a solar study for $14,800. And staff recommends that the city council approve the proposal for a solar study from Donahue and Associates at a cost not to exceed $14,800 to be paid for using the funds borrowed for that purpose.
Did they give you an indication of how long it would take for the study?
They did not.
Okay.
Generally with these things, I would say it would be somewhere in the 6 to 9 month range.
Okay.
Is it too early to even make a ballpark guess as to like how much a
Savings.
system could produce, and how much, like as a percentage of electricity used at the facility?
It is. That is why they are doing this. We tried to do several other things previously, and we just need somebody to really go through it, break it down, give us the options. Who is a professional in that.
Yeah. I move to approve the proposal for a solar study from Donahue and Associates at a cost not to exceed $14,800 to be paid for using the funds borrowed for that purpose.
Second,
A motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to 11C, a review and possible action relating to the emergency replacement of the library's rooftop condenser. Library Director Lippert.
Hello. I'm here because the library needs to repair or replace the rooftop air conditioner condenser. This would be an emergency purchase that was not expected or planned for. On June 26th, library staff noticed that the air conditioning on the southern end of the library building wasn't functioning properly. So we contacted Kleckers, and 2 technicians came out the next day. And they realized that in our rooftop condenser, a bracket had broken, allowing the fan and the motor to fall into the condenser and severely damage the condenser coils. This would require either a significant repair or replacement. Those are the two options. The technicians from Kleckers got stages 1 and 2 of the condenser working, although those repairs only lasted for a couple days, and those were only ever meant to be temporary repairs. Thankfully, the following week, as we were gathering additional quotes, a different company named Ahern was able to implement another temporary repair. So the temperature is comfortable for now in the library, but it's only meant to be a temporary repair. Library staff began gathering quotes to either repair or replace the rooftop condenser. After conversations with many HVAC professionals and city staff, library staff believed that it would be best to replace the rooftop condenser rather than pursue repairs. The expected life expectancy of this unit is about 20 years, depending on preventive maintenance and other conditions. Replacing the rooftop condenser now with another unit that uses R410A refrigerant will be more cost effective than replacing the entire system to handle R454B refrigerant in the next few years. Either repairing or replacing the unit will involve a crane and closing down Merchants Avenue for a few hours. We contacted 7 different HVAC companies for estimates and ultimately received 4 replacement proposals. The lowest proposal came from Total Mechanical for the cost of $85,000, with the understanding that we should plan for a 3% contingency due to market fluctuations. Library staff did not expect the damage to the rooftop condenser and therefore did not budget for the expense. However, it is essential to maintain an air-conditioned environment inside the library for the sake of our staff and our patrons and to best preserve our library materials. Also, the library is considered a cooling shelter by Jefferson County, and that's an important function I believe that we provide to our community. Oh, sorry. We consider this an emergency purchase as outlined in the city's financial stability guidebook. I did bring this in front of the library board on Monday, August 11th, and the library board approved the rooftop condenser replacement project with Total Mechanical and to replace the cost with funds from the library's trust. And I will note that by state statute, the library board has exclusive control of the expenditure of all monies collected for the library. But we're bringing this in front of you today to follow the city's financial stability guidebook. Staff recommends that City Council approve the proposal from Total Mechanical to replace the library's rooftop condenser at a cost not to exceed $87,550 with funding from the library's trust at Edward Jones. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
This is just the thrifty Scott in me that we're in mid-August. Did the board, the temporary fix that's in, would it get you through this season? Or
That's the hope. And we have had 2 temporary repairs from Ahern now. But the R410A refrigerant is the big timeline now. So we need to replace it with the current 60-ton train unit using R410A refrigerant before the end of 2025. If we miss that deadline, then we have to look at a more expensive unit and replacing the whole air handling unit. Yeah, but we did.
Yeah.
City staff recommended that, and it was a really good question and clearly not the best option, unfortunately.
Yeah, thank you.
Unbudgeted items like these are never easy to absorb, but we are fortunate to have a library trust that can help in and assist with these types of things.
I move to approve the proposal from Total Mechanical to replace the library's rooftop condenser at a cost not to exceed $87,550 with funding from the library's trust at Edward Jones.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11D, review and possible action relating to the library's 2025 CIP furniture replacement project. Lippert again.
Thank you. I think this is a more fun item than talking about rooftop condensers. The City of Fort Atkinson 2025 Capital Improvement Plan included $7,000 to replace furniture in the library. Library staff identified the teen room as the area most in need of furniture updates. The current furniture in the teen room is incredibly stained and sees a lot of use by teens as well as adults. So replacing or fixing that furniture, I believe, is past due. Library staff requested furniture replacement quotes from CJ and Associates in New Berlin and BSI in Waukesha. I also had additional conversations with a couple other companies, but ultimately didn't pursue proposals from those companies. Of the two companies that I talked to, CJ and Associates came in with a lower cost at $11,241.54. That quote would include a lot of reupholstery work, which is why their proposal goes farther and comes in at less money. They would reupholster the 4 booth benches and 3 lounge chairs that are already existing in the teen room. They think they're in great quality aside from the significant stains. And they have a good reupholsterer that they work with frequently. Additionally, we would add 6 new stools, and CJ and Associates recommended a new layout in the teen room that really buys us a lot of space and great sight lines without making the room feel crowded. So we're very excited about this concept. Looking at the financial part of it, I originally underestimated the cost of furniture and flooring replacement projects as I created the 2025 CIP. The library's 2025 CIP budgeted $7,000 to replace furniture in the library and $4,000 to replace flooring. Now that I have more information about the costs of replacing furniture and flooring, I recommend combining those plan totals in order to dedicate $11,000 to furniture replacement in 2025, and then I would not pursue replacing more flooring at the library. CJ and Associates proposal is $241.54 higher than $11,000. However, other plans 2025 CIP projects have come in under budget. I brought this proposal in front of the library board on Monday, August 25th, and they did approve the teen room furniture replacement project with CJ and Associates, and again to reimburse this cost with funds from the library's trust, which was the initial plan with the 2025 CIP. Again, I'll state that state statute says that the library board has exclusive control of expenditures for the library. But again, I'm bringing this in front of you to follow the city's financial stability guidebook. Library staff recommend the city council approve working with CJ and Associates to update the library's teen room furniture at a cost not to exceed $11,241.54 with funding from the library's trust at Edward Jones. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
It's pretty complete.
Always nice to see that they're willing to take the old furniture and just rework it and just give it an uplift instead of just throwing it out and buying all news. Glad to see that's coming through that way.
It was nice to hear them say that it was great that we invested in high quality furniture from the beginning. That was a really lovely comment from professionals.
I move to approve the proposal from CJ and Associates to update the library's teen room furniture at a cost not to exceed $11,241.54 with funding from the library's trust at Edward Jones.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, 11E, review and possible action relating to a 5-year contract with Associated Appraisal for full value assessment services. Clerk Treasurer Everett.
Thank you. City has contracted with Associated Appraisal for assessment services for at least the past 12 years that could find on record. Is required by Wisconsin statute 70.05. That's the statute that governs general property taxations across cities, towns, and villages. In 2023, the city did experience an interim market update, if you recall. That was following our third year of our assessment level being non-compliant. To be compliant, it is to be 100% assessment level, also referred to as assessment ratio. The IMU was possible as the city had experienced a full revalue in 2017, and IMU was available within 5 years of a full reassessment. We had our board of review this year with the council, and we were informed that our assessment level was anticipated to be non-compliant again, which means it would have been below the 100%. Staff did reach out to Associated Appraisal. We still had a year on our contract, and we discussed what our options were. At this time, Associated Appraisal, they were very fortunate, very happy to continue working with us, and provided a very reasonable rate to negotiate a new contract for a full value maintenance. Should we had potentially waited a year and remained out of compliance, the cost would have probably been an extra $60,000 to $150,000 to get back into compliance for assessment year 2027. So we're very fortunate to communicate and to provide the contract that's up for council. So the new contract would be $63,000 per year for assessment years 2026 to 2030. Again, that is a fantastic rate that it does not increase over the years, especially with the city experiencing great growth, which additional parcels would require assessment. So happy to answer any questions. I know the memo did reflect some additional history of our assessment level ratios that the council could review. If there's any other questions or any other comments you want to add?
I'll just add that being in compliance with this particular state statute is between 90 and 110% of market value. So there is a little wiggle room. It doesn't have to be 100% every year. It's between, plus or minus 10% to be in compliance. However, as Clerk Ebert indicated, 2025, we were at 83, or 2025, we are at 83.24%, which puts us out of compliance. And the new contract with the full value maintenance, the difference between this and just maintenance is that we will remain in compliance for each of the next 5 years, which is an important aspect of this. So we're paying $63,000 per year, but we will remain in compliance each year. At the end of this contract, however, in 2030, it should be noted that the city will likely have to have a full revaluation, which by that point will be even more expensive than it is right now. A full reval right now would run about $240,000 per the full reval plus an annual maintenance cost. So staff really does believe that this is the best option for the city moving forward for the next 5 years.
So I do have a question. Would we be able to move back to just the maintenance?
After
2030?
2030, yes.
Okay.
We could go back to a maintenance contract and after a full reval.
Okay.
Non-compliance always sounds like there's something you're doing wrong, but it is more an indicator of that's what the market is. Do we know, is the window that we are compliant, is that shrinking over time? Like, this is common that because of the market conditions, or is that kind of, I mean, I've sort of lost track of how many years we may have remained or been compliant before we go out of compliance.
I think it really depends on the market.
Right.
And when we had just a maintenance contract, it didn't make any sort of adjustments, right? It was this full value maintenance contract will make adjustments to keep us in compliance for the next 5 years.
And did we reach out to other companies that would offer and kind of find price value if this is still low, high? Right.
Yep, I actually did some research among other municipalities that are similar population, which is, I'm echoing our assessment service, or I'm sorry, our auditor contract that we had a couple weeks ago. So I did reach out. I'd heard from Village of Wanakee, City of Waupun, City of Whitewater, Village of McFarland, City Cudahy. Everyone has similar expenses for their contract, and some of those municipalities have great growth. Some are a little stagnant. Some of them have, property values vary as much as ours does. But we are right aligned with other assessment services that are with other communities. We were provided a very simple estimate from another large assessment company, as there are typically only two within the state of Wisconsin that could manage a community our size. And their rate was a little bit higher than what we have quoted. I'm sorry, it was a little bit lower than what we have quoted with our current one, but it was only for 3 years. Then we would have had to redo the process in 3 years. As Manager Hausman said, it could be 3 times as much at that time. So we are very fortunate that we are offered this 5-year contract at this rate.
Perfect. Thank you.
I move to authorize the city manager to execute the 5-year contract with Associated Appraisal for full value assessment services not to exceed $63,000 per year for assessment years 2026 through 2030.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item 11F, review and possible action relating to the invoice for new Public Works and Parks Facility HVAC system, annual service maintenance work from Total Mechanical. Says Superintendent Williamson, but I'm assuming Mr. Navin is doing it.
Good evening. Stepping in for Mr. Williamson tonight. He was under the weather, so I encouraged him to stay home and jump on Zoom if we do have any questions. So we'll work through that. Public Works and Park Operations Facility construction is now complete, and the HVAC system installed requires regular maintenance and upkeep to serve the city for many years to come. This year, regular maintenance occurs seasonally as cooling is necessary in the warmer months and heating in the cooler months. Staff sought to better understand the effort and regular required parts needed to establish a maintenance plan that maximizes the lifespan of the newly installed system. Staff reached out to the design and installation company for the new facility, Total Mechanical of Janesville, to establish an appropriate budget for the new system contract maintenance. Staff felt that the design and installation contractor for the new system would be most familiar and efficient in assisting with the annual maintenance budget to achieve a quality long life for the new system. Total Mechanical provided an initial proposal for the annual maintenance budget contract of $13,126. Staff reviewed the proposal and met with the contractor to discuss the proposed annual cost with hopes of finding a way to reduce it. The contractor agreed to provide the first service on a time and materials basis to better establish the related costs of maintenance. Total Mechanical performed the first service on said time and materials basis, and the attached invoice includes all required items needed to perform the regular systems maintenance. The 2025 general fund account includes anticipated costs for contracted services such as these for the facility. The 2025 budget is $20,000, and to date, the remaining available funds are $19,443.27. Staff recommends approving the invoice from Total Mechanical in an amount not to exceed $9,500 using funds from the Public Works Operation Building Maintenance account.
So there is a line item that covers this. Looking at the rest of the year, is that line item still looking
Correct.
fairly what?
Yep, with a brand new building, there's luckily not a lot of building maintenance yet.
But this would be likely every year. The annual maintenance would be about this much.
That's the next agenda item.
Oh, never mind.
So yes.
Thank you. I move to approve the invoice from Total Mechanical in the amount not to exceed $9,500 using funds from the Public Works Operations Building Maintenance account.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion carries. Item G, 11G, review and possible action relating to the Public Works and Operations Facility HVAC System Service Maintenance Contract.
All right.
I'll let you have at it again.
Thanks. All right, the Public Works and Park Operation Facility construction is now, did I just read this one? Yeah, I was gonna say, okay. Part of the process to maintain the new facility will be actively service and manage the heating, ventilation, and cooling system as the facility is considerably larger and inherently more complex. Staff believe that actively maintaining the HVAC system will maximize the city's investment. Staff reached out to the design and installation contractor, Total Mechanical of Janesville, who installed the new system and controls to assist in establishing the annual budget as discussed and performing any required inspections and general maintenance. In February, Total Mechanical prepared a proposal for the anticipated service, as we discussed, at $13,000. Total Mechanical agreed to perform the first full service that we discussed about. Total Mechanical provided a revised proposal in July 2025 that better reflected that. That was at $95,000. Staff has, sorry, $9,500. Staff has budgeted funds in the Public Works Operations Building Maintenance account to actively maintain the new HVAC system. Staff have committed to including the required funds within this account in future budgets to continue to maximize the useful life of the system and support the city's new facility investment in the long run. The cost of maintenance contract is $9,500 for the first year. The contract auto renews annually with an increase of 4%. The first payment of this contract will be in 2026 in the amount of $9,880. Staff recommends the city council approve the commercial heating and air conditioning plan maintenance proposal from Total Mechanical and authorize the city manager to execute it.
Well, my question has been answered.
I'm glad to see that the price came down a lot from what they originally quoted.
Yeah, that was great of Tom to take the time to talk, sit them down and while they're still around and say, hey, what can we do to hold this one in? So it was good to see they were willing to work with us on that.
I think it's just a very good idea for us to, make sure we're taking care of all the systems professionally and that within the city, especially what the taxpayers allowed us to spend on such a facility. So,
Absolutely, brand new facility and mechanics, and we need to keep them that way.
anything else from anyone?
I move to approve the commercial heating and air conditioning plan maintenance proposal from Total Mechanical and authorize the city manager to execute it.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to 12, miscellaneous. Tonight we have none. Item 13, public comment for matters not on the agenda. This will follow. We will receive comments from city residents. Comments are limited to 3 minutes. If anything, excuse me, trying to go too fast here. Anyone wishing to speak was required to sign up in advance and state the following name, address, and subject matter. No action will be taken on any of these public comments. Those following on Zoom, if you wish to speak, please raise your virtual hand in Zoom as the chat box is not monitored. Tonight we have John House again signed up to speak on this section.
I'll start the clock.
Thank you.
Sir.
Is there a mailbox for Mr. Schultz and Mr. Johnson?
We can get them a copy, yeah. I'll just scan it and email it to them. I don't.
John House, 104 Jefferson Street in Fort. On my never-ending search for getting rid of the invasive weeds that we have, I just actually found this in the Daily Union. And this is the state of Wisconsin going around the state and killing off all the stuff that I have proposed that we need to address. The purple loosestrife is coming up along the edge of the river on Riverside Drive. our family has taken it upon ourselves to go from the swimming pool road where the fort is all the way down Highway 106 to where the two concrete bridges are, almost to the marina. And I used to do it myself, but now I trip and fall in, so too old, so we have it professionally done. I haven't walked along the river, but I'm sure there's some loose stripe along there, and it needs to be cut and then sprayed, and the flowers have to be burned, otherwise the seeds go right back into the ground and then you haven't accomplished anything. So there was a question thrown at me about what kind of chemicals could be used. Right here is the blueprint from the state. So I guess that's it. If somebody wants to talk to me about it someday, I mean, I've got 25, 30 years worth of experience with this stuff, so thank you.
Thank you. This will be a first call for anyone else on Zoom wishing to speak. The second call for anyone else on Zoom. I will close out the public comment. Item 14, claims, appropriations, and contract payments. Review and possible action relating to the verified claims presented by the Director of Finance and authorized payment. Clerk Edwards. Sorry.
I move to approve the verified claims as presented.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further dispute? Seeing none, all those this is a roll call vote. I'm sorry.
Councilman Huckabee,
Aye.
Councilman Lesko Hair,
Aye.
Councilman Schultz,
Aye.
President Jekyll.
Aye, motion carries. Item 15, adjournment.
I move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you everyone for coming tonight.